Welcome everyone to Don't Stick Your Dick and Don't Spread Your Peach for Crazy. As always, I am producer Tim. With me is Drexel, and joining us for this very special occasion, Miss 007 herself. Say hello.
Hello everyone. 007 from NorCal. How you guys doing?
We're all good. I mean, I think everyone's literally salivating with what do you think, Tim? I think the guys are literally salivating with their mouths and stroking with their left hand or right hand.
Most people are shocked. Like, there are no women in Nick's server, right? I mean, this is the most awkward introduction so far. Oh, right? Give us a break. All right? No, Miss 007, okay? This is not a live recording. This is your dream episode of The Price is Right. Now tell me, how much is that crazy worth? Go.
How much is that crazy worth? It's not worth it at all.
Why not?
No dick is worth crazy.
Oh, like, it can't be that bad, right?
Oh, it can. I married one.
Oh. That is the perfect introduction.
You know, I have been seeing other guys during my the course of the marriage. So let's just say I have other relationships.
So your husband's a cuck?
Yes. But he doesn't know it.
That's the worst cuck. You know what, Drex? I would rather not know I was a cuck than know I was a cuck and just live with it, right? No, I would. Because if the two options are know that I'm a cuck and just live with it, or never know that I was a cuck, I would rather not know I was a cuck.
Okay, but what if you're the guy who doesn't know he's a cuck, and you go down on your wife after she just got smashed, and you're kissing after she had a blow bang?
War Machine that shit.
I like blow bangs. I'm just saying. I'm not judging. I don't kink shame. Yeah, but you don't want to be that guy though, do you? If you're a knowing cuck, you can be like, well, I guess I'll just never get to touch her again.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's worse. In my mind, that's worse than not knowing.
Well, I don't do that. If I don't have relations with him or with someone else and then come home and then have relations with my ex.
Oh, okay.
So, no, I don't. I used to wait at least 24 hours.
That's a magical. It's not gay if it's more than 24 hours, Drex.
Oh my god. That's why we love this show. We love our guests too.
That's the thing. If I was someone who's like, okay, I know and therefore I'm throwing her out, okay, but that's not the question. The question is, you know, but you have to live with it. Or you just don't know. Because, I mean, obviously the correct thing to do is you find out, okay, you're gone, get out of here.
But here's the thing, though. Okay, so if you know, guess what? Okay, watch this. Let's say you don't know. Okay, so this is how this works in general. If you don't know, you tend to be the only one who doesn't, right?
Yeah, that is true, too. Because
you know what I'm saying? Like in King of the Hill? Okay, when it comes to cheating, if you're the dude being cheated on, you're the last guy to find out. The neighbors knew, your coworkers knew, your friends, like, everyone knew.
Yeah, Dale and John Redcorn.
Yeah, King of the Hill.
yeah.
Like, everyone knew, right? So if
everyone
you don't know, you could
except
argue.
Dale.
At least if you know, you could be like this, like, well, I'll just because then people are like, whispering behind your back. You can just pretend you don't know, like, I don't want to admit I'm a cuck. So yeah, you're fucked either way, man.
Yeah, there's no winners in that one. All right. Well, Miss 007, after that awkward introduction, what do you want to tell us about?
About my husband or
no. This is your time to
the story you wanted to tell.
The story you want to tell about crazy. Like what crazy fucking dude did you come across? It made you go, this motherfucker's crazy.
Oh my god. It's amazing how many weird guys there are out there. And I come into contact and it's and they're pretty open about it from the beginning. And you can, if you use your senses and your gut instinct, you can pretty much, hopefully, you can sort out. Okay, that guy right off the bat, you're like, no way. Some of them like fly under the radar, and they know how to minimize their weirdness so it doesn't come up through the surface at the beginning. So you have to really have multiple long range conversations or whatever you do to gauge what that person's personality is going to be like before you even begin to get to know that person. Some of them just
like some of them will let the mask slip, right? Just a little bit.
Yeah, they do. And guys are pretty simple. They'll send you a dick pic, and it's like, oh my god, really? You're gonna do that? You're gonna start off with that?
I have never sent a dick pic in my life. I don't understand. Drex, I don't get it. Why?
I don't know. I'm asking you guys.
If you want to see my dick that badly, I'll come and show it to you. But why? Why would you ever send a dick pic?
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing about dick pics, and Miss 007 knows this to be true about all guys. As a general rule of thumb, guys, this is Drexology 101. Only send a dick pic if she asks what your size is. So no unsolicited dick pic. Women don't mind dick pics, make no mistake. What they do mind is unsolicited dick pics, right?
And wait to get to know you and then cover it myself.
Or at least dress it up. Like, don't just send it and it just kind of hangs there, not doing anything. Like, put a sailor's hat on it or something.
Or even a suggestive pic.
A hanging dick is actually lovely to look at because then you can just really see it in its natural state. Some guys are really proud of their dicks, and they just like to send it off at the first hello, and it's hey, and then you get a dick pic.
And then bam! And you're just like, ah!
Yeah, you have to start off a conversation.
Okay, you've gotten dick pics before, right?
Absolutely.
Okay,
did you ever get one where he forgot to wash it first?
Ugh, that's gross. We're going to take that as a yes.
Remember, if it's a yes or no question, you don't get an answer right away. It's the wrong one.
It's the wrong one.
I was just imagining the...
Oh, no. PG-13, please. As we're talking about dick pics. Okay, anyways, go on. Oh, God, what the fuck? Anyways, yeah, go ahead. Go on. You were saying?
So aside from dick pics, some of the signs to look out for, and I'm from a female perspective, maybe you want to know how to avoid crazy women, but from a female perspective, when I'm looking for guys, it's the dick pic. That's a no-brainer. And then it's also how they write. If you can write a sentence coherently and you use punctuation, well, it's you're like good to go. Okay, you can structure a sentence. And so, because then you can sort of gauge that person's style and how they write and how they talk, where they are in their education level.
I mean, you say advice for men, but 4%, Drex, we've upped our female ratio to 4% of our viewership right now. Yeah.
So in 1 month,
we started at 0.9%.
Jesus. I'm impressed.
Now it's up to 4% female watch. We have some female listeners, Mama Vic being one of them.
Mama Vic. She's great.
What would you like to ask me?
Oh, what's that?
What would you like to ask me?
Oh, yeah. What is the most red flag text message you've ever gotten?
The one word, hey. Those are, that's a red flag. If they just say, hey, it means they don't really care. They're just sending out messages.
Would you like to join this Discord server?
Hey. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. It's just you ignore
But
that
you've
one.
never gotten a message like, I don't know, like a Dexter fantasy message before, like, oh, I want you
Well,
to.
the other day I got, when the first message right out of the blue is, "Hey, beautiful," I don't put my face on any of my profile, so sure, it's a general picture, but you don't see my face. Um, and then I get an email from a guy, and he says, "Hey, I love you look so beautiful. I love you. You know what I want to do? I want to worship your pussy, and I want to spend so much time worshiping your pussy that I will even let you pee in my mouth so that you can continue. You don't have to get up." And that was the first message.
I want to meet the person who said that. I just want to see what kind of person they are. Like, what kind of
And
car do you drive? Do you even drive? I bet this person doesn't even drive a car. He rides
They
a
take the
bicycle to
BART.
work.
They take the BART. Trust me.
Yeah.
And on top of that, so after a few messages later, he says, "I want to be your boyfriend." And here we are. We haven't even met in person yet to be a boyfriend. And that, I mean, who does that? Why?
Someone who's crazy.
I mean,
I'm going to answer that for you. Someone who's crazy.
You didn't spread the peach for him, did you?
No, I mean,
Dodged one there.
Yeah, I mean, he did say he was very good at worshiping the pussy, and so it's like, well, wow.
What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Do you like burn incense and just like, go down to your knees and pray 5 times a day towards the sun?
But no, I don't intend to meet this person. He sounds very desperate to, it's too forward and too, I don't know. That just doesn't cut it for me. You have to work for it. That's just too easy.
Do you remember the worst opening line someone's ever told you? Like, they meet you in person and they just are so awkward. They have the world's worst opening line.
Gotten a few of those, and I mean, I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything. They're so stupid. I mean,
Okay, or maybe the worst one-liner joke you've ever heard, like, "Oh, are you an angel? Because I'm allergic to feathers."
yeah, if someone opened with a liner like that, it's like it falls dead, and there's that awkward silence. You're like, oh, okay. Yeah. So then, what are we going to talk about now? Now, I don't know. I have had a few. I just can't think of those. But if you're nervous, it's one thing. But if that's your normal line and that continues to work for you, well, then you better try harder. You got to think of a new routine.
What do you think about guys using pickup lines in general? I have my own take on if they should ever be used, and obviously the answer is fuck no. But what is your take on it?
Be yourself. I mean, if you have to have
Thanks.
line, I mean, it's nice to go in and have talking points in your head about what you want to ask this person or to talk about in case, because you really want to get to know them, but don't use these one-liners that, are, you can find on the internet, because, people want authentic, they want your genuine personality. So, I mean, if you're humorous and you can pull it off, go ahead. But I think few people can.
I don't know. Okay, Drexel, back me up on this one. No
What's
man, Miss 007, that you've ever met in your life has given you their real personality. And here's why. Every man in the world treats a woman they're meeting the very first time very differently than a woman they're very casual with.
I say no.
No,
I met Miss 007. She can say it. She'll tell you. She saw the real me from day one.
Okay.
But I think I did. I hope.
Although
I did.
Drexel would be the he'd be the anomaly and certainly not the norm. Most guys are not that confident in their game and their ability to keep a woman's attention, to keep them entertained, to keep and like very few men ever pick up on the subtle cues that women give off.
Correct.
Right?
Most people aren't good at
most
reading
of us are
body
dumb
language.
to that.
Yeah, I agree. Most guys would.
That's and they know this. Like all guys know that they suck at this stuff. So the face that they present the very first time they meet you is not at all like they are if they were just out with their bros at a pub.
Right. And nowadays, a lot of people they're not forthright about themselves on their profiles, which I can agree with doing that, because you don't want to put sensitive information about you out there. So there's a bit of lying going on, and that's fine at first. But I think when you get to know someone and you find, you have some chemistry and you want to move forward with a relationship or whatever it is, you need to bring that out of the surface. You need to say, hey, my real name is so and so, and I'm this age, and I'm seeing other people or whatever. You need to be upfront. And you know what I do? I mean, you have the internet at your fingers. You need to do due diligence and research up on people and do Google searches to find out about that person, so that when you come in and you meet someone, you have some background in your back pocket and you can really flesh that person out.
Yeah, I totally agree with that approach, mainly because my real name, if you Google it, you'll get a bunch of multimillionaires that live in this city. I have a name that is extremely common, a very common English name. So there's 8 different people in this city who have the same name as me. And 3 of them are millionaires. So I'm all good with that approach.
Well, Mr. 007, I got a question for you. Let's look at the reverse side of that, right? So, from the guy's perspective, because the system itself is gynocentric, right? And a guy does not want a crazy chick to do some Amber Heard level Lorena Bobbitt shit on him, right? So he has to be a little more clandestine and stealth in his approach, right? In terms of what information, personal information about himself he's willing to disclose, right? So what do you say to a guy who, let's say he's upfront with you, but he doesn't say certain stuff, right? Like he's very evasive about, let's say, his exact exact city where he lives. He'll say I live in this area, or I'm from this place, or I work in this sector. You know what I mean? How much would you say that you are comfortable with a guy kind of keeping a little open to the imagination as opposed to being much more direct?
I'm okay with the not disclosing your personal information when in the first stages, but if we get together and we get naked, when you're naked with somebody, you're really exposing yourself, and
Literally.
I think at that point you're exposing yourself in many ways. Not only your nakedness, but you're giving yourself to them, and you're sharing a lot yourself. At that point you should be upfront with some of your information. I've kept a lot of information secret, and I may be a little bit of a hypocrite myself, but if I ask you something, if I say, where do you live, and you still give me the wrong answer, and I find out about it, well, then there's going to be a problem. If I ask you, you tell
I'm
me
bad
the
for
lie,
that. I'm really bad for that.
then there's a problem.
Yeah, I don't ever want. Okay, so the girl I'm with, notwithstanding, but for other people I'm meeting for the first time, because I don't know how crazy they are, I don't want you knowing my real home address.
Yep.
Give out your address.
Because you will show up on my doorstep one night and try to pull crazy shit.
No, are you inviting girls to your house?
No.
I mean, so when you go out on a date and you want to take a girl and you want to get busy with her, where are you taking her?
Behind a dumpster at a 7-Eleven. No, I'm joking.
Well, well, I'm gonna.
I've gotten a
Okay,
hotel room before, or
the
my
hotel
car.
room is great. It's a neutral territory, and
you know what? I don't go to like the seedy inn at like the rough part of town. I have enough class to go to a Holiday Inn or a Super 8. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, that's my preference as well. You know, you're in a neutral location. You know that person, you're not that person's house, so that they, you know, you're at a disadvantage if when you go to someone's house for many reasons. So a hotel is really good, but you got to make sure that you're still not giving away, you know, some of your personal information when you're getting the room or when you're checking out or whatnot, because that person can still find out about you. But that's a good way to go, and you keep doing that for however many more dates to find until you get to know that person and get to know if they're really going to be cray cray or not. You know, start bringing out the straps and blindfolds and the dildos.
Oh, here's a question. And I've heard this happen to multiple women. Miss 007, in terms of level of crazy, have you ever had a guy offer you money?
Not offer me money. A lot of guys just want their sex for free, but I have gone out with a guy who wanted to prostitute me.
Oh,
So yeah, he wanted to send me out on dates and have the guys, and then the guys would pay for it. And then we would
oh,
split it.
oh.
What?
What a
Oh
gentleman.
man, that fucking. What the hell?
Yeah.
Like someone tried
He,
to traffic you, basically.
yeah. So one time
He's terrible
we
at it.
did a gangbang. And so the guys got we had some one-on-one time, and they had to pay $160 each for that. And then for the gangbang portion, they had to pay I think it was like 140. So at the end of that, we had about, you know, we made some money.
Can I get like an annual pass or something? Like, is there a Smash Pass I can buy?
Well, if I was to continue doing that, which I'm not, then you would get a discount.
Now, Miss 007, here's what's fun. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that, well, I got a question for you, Miss 007. So, has there ever been a point where you wanted to abort mission because you got with a dude that you thought was normal and cool and safe, and then at some point during the night, you were like, "Oh, this fucker's crazy." And did you go through with it, or did you try to, did you abort mission?
Never spent the night with a guy. I always smash and leave. So
Smart.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's the best way to do it, right? There's no need to be awkward about it.
yeah, you know, no, yeah, I haven't. So and I wouldn't stay the night with anyone unless I knew them.
hmm
It's just too weird, you know. You're like, when you wake up and you wonder, God, my hair's a mess. I gotta brush my teeth. I don't know, just ugh.
Mm.
So, but yeah, you know, there are times when you've met someone and you're like, and they're like, what do you think? Shall we do this? And you're like, oh yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. And you're like, yeah, you're talking yourself to it. Yeah, let's do this. And you think, okay, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, it's sometimes once you've paid for the room, you've kind of gone too far. You know, you're like, well, I might as well do it. I've got the room and I'm
You can
here.
always fake it, right?
Yeah, you know, maybe it'll be good. Maybe I'll get off. Um,
Have you ever been pleasantly surprised in the process before? Like, this guy's nothing, and then he just kind of wows you. He knows what he's doing.
yeah, like, oh my God, I don't like you, but you just got me off.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is women in a nutshell.
I would not
Okay.
go back to him.
Okay,
No.
so what's the biggest lie a man's ever told you, and what's the biggest lie you've ever told a man that you got with?
I think, isn't faking an orgasm a big lie?
Okay, that's a
I
pretty
mean-
big lie. What about the biggest lie a man's ever told you? Like, he gave you the profile picture of, like, Castro Supreme, right? And then he
Oh, the
shows up and he looks
catfish.
like fucking Butterbean.
Oh my god, I can go on forever about the lies that I've been told. Oh, you know, I like to.
I
like
respect you. You're very interesting. Tell me more about your sign and astrology.
I always I ask a guy, you know, are you in shape? Do you work out and that kind of thing? And oh yeah, I used to play basketball in college. Well, that was 20 years ago. And then they show up and I'm like, you don't look very athletic. I mean, it's the lies. The pictures that they post are old on their websites. You know, they use old pictures, or they've actually found pictures that kind of look like them from other people, and then they've used other not their pictures. Yeah, those were, I mean, just some of the basic stuff. Oh, one guy got married and he didn't tell me that. So we were on I was seeing this guy for about 2 years, and when I met him he was single, but at some point and he never told me that he got engaged. I didn't know this. It was after he got married I found out that he got married.
He sent you the wedding photo and he's like, "What do you think?" And you're like,
No, you know what I did? It was 4 months before his wedding. We went on a trip together. We went away for 4 days, and it was fun. We had a great time. And then, but this was like 2 months before his wedding. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, you're forgetting, and I didn't piece this together until after the fact. So yeah, he was married. And then it was like for a few months after his marriage, I actually did some sleuthing on social media, and I saw a wedding picture. I'm like, did you get married? And he did say yes, he did. And then after that I never saw him again.
So the lesson here, guys, is to keep your social media private.
It was his daughter's social media. You got to be careful about what other people post about you, because eventually, you know, when you tag someone, or it's your family member, and you're not careful about your privacy protections on social media, you know, people can dig in.
I've
FYI.
heard lots of people get caught up with that, by the way.
Oh God.
Wow. I will say this though. That's just stupid.
Yeah, like how do people think they're gonna get away with this? Like, again, posting Castro Supreme and then showing up looking like Butterbean. What's going through their mind where they think they're gonna get away with that? Have you ever just been like, you know what, I'm out? Like the guy shows up, he's nothing like the photo. Have you ever just been like, you know what, I'm out?
Dude.
I'm gone.
Like a dude showed you a picture of like a hot dude, and he shows up and he purely catfished you. And yeah, what is the worst catfish you've ever received?
I have been catfished, and you know, it feels. I feel so down on myself when I let myself be, that I fell for that in the first place, and you know, I had to get over that fact first. And like, I fell for this, and I feel so stupid. Then there's the anger. You're like, oh my god, you asshole! How come you did that? Why do you do that to people? You know, it's at some point, you know, you're going to find out. And I hope karma comes back to get you. And I hope someone catfishes you. You know, you know, you have to. I mean, you have to be very diligent, but there are so many ways to get to fool people these days. I mean, while we still have tools at our fingertips to do our own background sleuthing, at the same time, you know, you can easily manipulate your own information to hide who you really are. So it's really challenging. It's hard to have one specific tip on how to avoid getting catfished because it's so prevalent. So many people have fallen for it. Even intelligent people. I consider myself to be really intelligent. I'm educated, and I've fallen for it. And I thought I knew what I was doing. So, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing, though. In regards to what Miss 007 was saying and all that, there was a solution that I came up with years ago, which is really simple. If you are chatting with somebody or anything, what you do is you have them send you, you just get a name. Like, hey, what is your name? It doesn't have to be their real name. Let's say a girl's name is Julie. And then she says, like, oh, my name is, I don't know, Sapphire. It doesn't matter, right? You just put her name saying like, hi, my name is, and then in my case, I would say Drex, right? Like, hey, Sapphire, it's Drex with the day's date, right? And you take a picture. And you don't have to even have your full face on it, but that's not a picture you can steal from online, right?
Nope.
You see what I'm saying? So Miss 007, I don't know if you've dealt with guys who are thorough like that, but I think that is the easiest way to do it, which is just simply have, like say your name or whatever and just take a picture. Take a selfie with that person's your name and their name on the same picture and make sure you have the day's date. And then you ask them to send you the same thing. So if she's on the other end, she's like, yo, and I just had that happen with a chick in Florida. She was like, hey, it's me. And she sent me a picture back and it's clearly her with my name on it with today's, the day's date that it was, right? And you cut out so much bullshit.
The funny part is when you're able to start Googling like common names. Now, Drex, you're never going to have that problem, right?
No.
But for me, like I said, I have a very common English name. There's a non-zero chance I can actually Google someone holding up a picture with my name on it.
I don't think so.
I still doubt it because remember, it would have to have the day's date, right? So okay, right. Like I'll give you an example. Right now, just
you could always Photoshop the date.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to remember, okay. Look, you can look at something and tell something's been photoshopped, right? And
most
don't
of the
forget
time,
this.
yes, if you're shitty at Photoshop.
Well, and don't forget this though. In this modern era, once you've established that, bets are the person is who they say they are, right? And if they still aren't, guess what? That's what FaceTime is for, right? I FaceTime a chick, actually out in California. She was in Oakland, and we were sitting there chatting, and she straight up said like, "Oh yeah, you want to do a FaceTime or whatever, right?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, no problem." I can't remember if I used Facebook or Kick or something, but yeah, we just straight up used FaceTime. So there's no one else it could be other than me. She's seen me, I've seen her, and then when you FaceTime, yes, that is the person that they represented. So you know what? And I would say this though, Miss 007, I think that's one of the biggest things that people need to not ignore, right? Like if someone lied about something, like you said, misrepresented himself, right? Like, because don't you think that's the biggest problem where people fuck up, where they go like this, well, he or well, she isn't blank, but they still go along with it, right? Like, don't you think that's where a lot of the problems come from? Because if a person is lying about one major part of their life, they're probably lying about other parts, like not being fucking crazy.
And you really have to be careful about their relationship status, whether they're married or not, or attached or not. Because a lot of guys who are in relationships, they hide that, and then they're the ones who don't like to FaceTime. Or you can call during daytime hours and they won't answer. Because they're or during dinner time.
Why is the UPS guy trying to call you at 9 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the name that some guys put you in their phone as?
No. I'm curious about that.
What do you normally do? What do you normally do when you put a guy's name in a phone? How do you normally do it? Do you just put their name, or do you come up with a cute nickname, or how do you work? How does it work?
I put I'm assuming I put whatever name they give me, and then I put their
Okay.
age, and then I'll put
Incoming
where
call from Josh, 34.
I'll say Josh 34, and then the site I met them on, because if you're on multiple sites, you have to kind of keep track.
See, guys. I hope you're taking notes. All right, there's gonna be a quiz on this tomorrow. All right.
Yeah.
First of all,
And,
if you think you're chatting with someone and you're the only man in the phone, you are sorely mistaken.
oh no, yeah, you are. Women get. I get so many emails, and I'm kind of multitasking with like 4 or 5 guys just to whittle down to find out which guy is going to be the one that I devote my attention to. So while I'm doing that, I might be texting 4 or 5 guys at once, and so sometimes I juggle. You're juggling, and sometimes I might send the wrong text to somebody, or forget, or say something that I probably shouldn't have, or I have done that, or I've forgotten who I'm texting, and so.
The worst part is when you send a text like that and to a family member by mistake.
I think everyone's had it happen at least once. Like you sent the text, or
not me.
Now some of them are just straight up like, hey, here's my number, text. But there are some out there who have this thing like, oh, here's my Instagram, or here's my Snapchat. Are you fucking serious? Like,
here's
I'm
my
old
parlor, and you know what? I'm Native American. Here's my smoke signal address.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Miss 007, if a guy ever asked you, if he's talking to you online, he's like, and you were like, oh, hey, well, do you have another way to contact? If he hits you with here's my Instagram or my Snapchat, what would you say to him?
I take it, because that gives me further information about him, and so
what if he gives you his OnlyFans?
I don't give no. If you have OnlyFans, I am not. That's definitely a red flag.
You don't have an OnlyFans, do you?
No, I don't.
No. Okay.
No.
No,
okay, just doing a normal vetting here, guys. Take notes.
Miss 007, I hate to admit this, but there's dudes willing to pay money for your foot pics or any other things.
I know there are. Yeah. I've had guys asking me for my used panties. And I had a guy ask me.
See, this is the story. I need. Hang on. You glossed over that. I want to know more about this story. What was the context? Did he just hit you up randomly?
Because remember, you didn't spread for crazy, and any guy that asks for your used panties is fucking crazy. So elaborate.
You glossed right over that one. I want to know more about
this. You gotta skip that one.
Well, I do a lot of bike riding, and sometimes I sell old clothing, and someone wanted my used cycling shorts. Now, let that sink in.
Did he just hit you up on Facebook Marketplace or something and just hey, do you have how did he word it?
They just wanted your use. You wonder, I wonder if he wants it, but kind of why? It's because I have female cycling shorts, and it was a guy and he wanted them. And I'm like, well, all right, you want to pay the money? I don't care. You can have them. It's money. It's just a transaction.
Drexel, did Mr. Y wear cycling shorts?
You
didn't answer the question.
Oh, that whole Twitch stream was awful. That was awful on booty shorts.
Yeah, no. Actually, the guy who hit you up for your used booty shorts was doing an e-thought stream. His name was Nick Ricada. That's the thing. There is some women will get desperate, right? And that's usually where the crazy comes out. And guys get desperate, if it's been a long time. But there's the very lowest level of desperation where they're like, "Hey, beautiful, this is true love. I'm in love with you," right? And it's they're just messaging you on this website for the first time, right? There's that level of desperation in men that just isn't reciprocated in women.
I mean, it seems like a lot of them, most of the guys are like that. They're so desperate. They haven't had any. I always ask, I'm like, when was the last time you had a woman? I mean, I don't want to be that person who's you've been on a drought for so long, and now I'm the one. What is it about?
I'm in love.
First of all, what am I missing here? That I'm going to be the one. Why did you choose me, or how did I choose you? And then I want to get out of here because I want a guy who has had women, and I know he's good. I don't want a guy who hasn't had any in a long time. I don't know.
Yeah, well, women are the opposite. Women are going to they're going to lie about the amount of guys they've been with, and they're going to make the number lower. Guys are going to make the number higher. Men are going to multiply, women are going to divide or subtract, depending on which way you view it.
Yeah.
So, here's the thing. Ms. 007, I want you to think of it like this, right? You're in California. I've been to California numerous times, and every time I go, I laugh. And the reason I laugh is because I know for a fact that at least 90% of California women go to bed every night rubbing their pussies and sticking inanimate objects in their fucking orifices. Why? Because you guys have the most pitiful soy boys I've ever fucking seen. And I've been everywhere, right? So I want you to imagine how many of these guys do you believe in your daily life, right? We're not talking about online, you're meeting someone for a date. Just you're walking around, just another day in life in California. If you were to take a rough estimate, how many guys would you view as smashable? What do you think that percentage is?
I went to the gym, and there was a lot of smashable guys there. I gotta say.
But that's because you're at the gym. guys with actual testosterone. We're talking about day in the life. You're just walking around.
Now, in my workplace, that's a different story.
Okay, so watch this. Day in the life. You went to work. You got off work. You had to go to Safeway. You left Safeway, had to run some errands. So you see like all throughout your day, you're coming across dudes, right? Or it's your day off, right? You had to run some errands. You came across some dudes. You run a bike ride. You came across dudes. So basically everywhere but the gym. What do you say?
Yeah. Exclude the gym. 50%, and you know what? It's not just California. I've been in the Midwest, so
it's pitiful here. Look, well, here's the thing.
It's
now. Here's the thing, though. Here's what I've always said, Miss 007. I love that guys are more bitch made now than they've ever been. That this is the sorriest crop of the male species in recorded history, right? And I like that because it makes my job easier, right? If every dude is looks like they came off the set of 300, well, that means that there's less to go around because the average dude looks like someone who came off of that. What is that show? Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, Big Bang Theory. Or you remember that Jordan Valinsky guy from CNN?
Jesus Christ. Well, and that's what I'm saying though. But based on where you are, right? Like I said, if you're in the West in particular, which is Seattle, Portland, anywhere in California, it doesn't matter, north, south, central. These fuckers are soylent, right? So Miss 007, if you are a masculine man, especially a black dude, it's easy. You're like, oh my God, I just have to be here and not fuck up. Whereas when I hear these stories about guys saying, it's so hard to get laid, I'm an incel, and I just can never get a woman to look at me. I'm looking at these guys like, this is why. But I mean, it's great. It's great. And let me ask you something, Miss 007. What advice would you give guys out there who are really struggling to get girls or get laid or anything? What would you tell them, like, in terms of, like, I don't know if you want to say, like, what can they do with their body or their personality? Like, what advice would you give the guys out there?
Okay. And don't tell them to be themselves, because that's
they can't be themselves.
The worst advice you could be.
That's not good enough.
Yeah, that's not helpful to anyone.
Fortunately, there's we're visual creatures just like you guys are, so you have to work on your appearance. I mean, if you're not getting girls, you got to look in the mirror and figure out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You got to start there.
All right, thank you, Miss 007. That's going to do it for our first episode of DSYPFC. Don't stick your peen for crazy, and don't spread your peach for crazy. Till next time, everyone, stay frosty.